Today on an all-new Dr. Phil.
Taylor is a liar, manipulator, drama queen.
A mom desperate for help.
Did you steal her credit cards?
And a daughter.
You're just making me look like a horrible person.
Now you want to play the victim.
Desperate for attention.
Taylor had her head shaved and announced that she was transgender.
I have a lot of people who support me.
4 months later, you decided that wasn't for you? Let's do it.
Not a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
I try to be an emotional compass and point you in the right direction.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. Well, faking multiple pregnancies on social media, shaving her head, and posting the video for her online fans and friends to see. Stealing thousands of dollars from her mom's credit cards and treating friends to mani-pedi spa days and shopping sprees. Meeting men and women nearly twice her age and online, and inviting them to spend the week at her parents' home. And in one case, inviting a large lizard to come along. And even covering her body with tattoos and piercings starting as young as 10 years old. These outrageous examples are just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to ways Kim says her teenage daughter Taylor tries to get attention any way she can. But is mom just here to say, Dr. Phil, fix my daughter, instead of taking a look at her role in all of this? Well, why do I ask? Because in one of her 5 emails to me begging for help, she wrote, and you can go blame the parents as you always do. Really? Well, before I go blaming her, let's hear why Kim worries her daughter's quest for the spotlight could land her in jail or an early grave or on the bad road. Take a look.
Taylor is a liar, manipulator, drama queen, and attention getter.
Yes, it's all true.
She thrives on being the black sheep of the family, even though we never have treated her as one. Taylor has lied about being pregnant 3 times. She actually posted 2 positive pregnancy tests on social media. I found out Taylor stole the 2 pregnancy tests from a friend. Later, she posted that she had a miscarriage. Taylor at one point was piercing the inside of her mouth, her gums, side of her cheek, anywhere she could, in places we would not see. Taylor wants to cover her whole entire body with tattoos. One day, I came home from work and Taylor had her head shaved and announced that she was transgender.
Hey y'all, it's Spencer. Today's video is about how I came out about being transgender.
I was devastated. Taylor asked girls to send pictures of their chest with the word Spencer on it. I believe that Taylor actually tries to be different just to throw it in my face. One night, Taylor decided to run down the street. I found her laying there, saying that she was going to lay there until somebody ran her over. Taylor came home one night and told me that she had danced at a strip club. Taylor was diagnosed bipolar at age 14. Sometimes I wonder, is it the mental illness or is she just a spoiled teen?
Now, you're afraid that I'm going to throw you under the bus.
I'm not afraid. I think I need to.
You just expect to get thrown under the bus.
because I made mistakes.
Because you said, and I quote, and you can go and blame the parents as you always do. Well.
And they sometimes really deserve it.
Okay. Let me be clear. I'm not here to throw you under the bus, although you might fit nicely.
Yes, I would.
I'm here for one reason, and that is to change what's going on because it's not working for you. It's not working for her, but it's not working for anybody. This is not a happy home, right?
No.
And I don't want that for anybody. I want that to change. Well, Taylor is here, and she says that it's her mom that needs my help, not her. I'm just a typical teen. My mom needs the help, so I'm coming to be sure she gets here. Let's hear her point of view.
My mom treats me like I'm delusional. Like, she acts like I'm going insane. Like, I need to be put in a nut house.
Gotta make better decisions.
It's not like I do anything wrong. I'm a good teenager. She acts like I'm the psychotic kid who goes out and does drugs and parties and runs away at night and never comes home and never tells her where I'm going. She has to control my every movement like I am like a doll on strings. She's crazy. She has hacked into my Facebook. She tracked my phone down because she didn't believe I was where I said I was. I'll be out till 3 in the morning and she'll text me and be like, where the hell are you? Why aren't you home? I'm sick of this. If you're not home in 10 minutes, I'm reporting the car as stolen. It got to the point where she told me she was gonna punch me in the face. And I told her, I said, hit me. She acts like I'm not good enough. And now she's just going to bug me and drive me insane until I'm that perfect child that she had sculpted in her brain. She's so obsessed with Dr. Phil. She acts like he's her god. She needs to see when she's in the wrong. I don't want you butting in. I want you to let me do what I want to do on my own. Dr. Phil needs to fix her.
Oh, but if only I were her God, I would heal you right now. And we would be. So what's wrong with your mother? What do I need to fix in her?
Well, she's controlling. And, like, she can be a stalker sometimes.
Yeah. You had a particularly charming turn of phrase. You said, she is up your butt 24/7. Elaborate on that a little bit for me.
There all the time.
She's just too much in your business?
Literally up there, but, like...
Well, I assume that wasn't literal. Do you need watching? Do you need... Because you said... Also, that was a particularly descriptive term. You said, I am just a typical teenager. You just kind of do what all teenagers do.
Not all. There's some bad ones. I'm like the typical good teenager.
Well, let's go through some of the things that she said that you've done. Just typical good teenagers. She said that you have lied on social media 3 times about being pregnant. Okay, now wait a minute. We have to tell the truth here. Flattering or unflattering, I deal with the truth. So don't lie to me. It's either true or it's not.
It's not. I've never lied about it, especially 3 times. I thought I was 1 time, and I was like so real, but it was never 3 times, and I wasn't lying about it.
Have you said you were pregnant 3 times because you thought you were?
No.
Okay, why are you telling me that?
Because it's true, but...
Well, no, somebody's lying. Did you steal her credit cards?
Yeah.
Did you get caught shoplifting?
Yes.
So typical good teenagers steal their parents' credit cards, run up $3,000 worth of bills, and get caught shoplifting.
Monday on an all-new Dr. Phil.
My daughters have to put on their big girl panties. Just grow up.
Did you say you wish they would drop dead?
Yes, but they want to kill me.
You say she's a sex addict.
She likes married men. She told me.
She ran around with a knife trying to hurt herself.
No, I think it's you.
My God, you're like a ride at Disney World.
You're only hearing one side.
No, I'm hearing your side. It just changes every sentence.
That's Monday.
Well, no, somebody's lying.
Well,
I don't remember.
where'd you get the 2 positive pregnancy tests from?
What? The ones, whenever they sit sometimes, they like turn, they change. It's like not accurate after so long, I guess. I don't know. I'm being serious.
Because let me tell you, if you left those things laying around and they just overnight popped up positive, there would be a lot of in the morning.
I didn't take anybody.
Did you say 3 times that you were pregnant?
Not
because
3
you
times.
thought so.
Not 3 times.
Twice?
Maybe twice, but not 3 times.
Okay, we'll go with twice. Did you steal her credit cards?
Yeah,
And run up $3,000 worth of bills?
probably.
Okay, so we're just putting this under the things that typical good teenagers.
I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I'm just going to be straight up
Okay,
with
you said good,
well, good
typical
as in,
good
like, not
teenager.
out partying and
Okay,
stuff
well,
like
these
that.
are the typical good teenagers. Did you get caught shoplifting? Okay, so
wasn't-
typical good teenagers steal their parents' credit cards, run up $3,000 worth of bills, and get caught shoplifting. Did you total your car after a few weeks of having your license in your car?
Not weeks, like months, and it wasn't my fault.
Okay. So typical good teenagers steal credit cards, get caught shoplifting, and total their cars after a few weeks. Did you drop out of high school?
Yeah.
So typical good teenagers drop out of high school. Did you invite strangers you met on the internet to your house, telling them they could come and live there for a week, and your parents had to pay them to leave?
What?
Well, on one occasion, 2 women showed up at 12:30 at night, and they had to give them $20 for gas money to leave.
Dad had to give money for gas.
Who?
There were 2 girls. I have no idea who they were. The ones where the car wouldn't start.
Oh.
Yeah. And then they had no money to get back home.
It wasn't 2 girls.
So Dad took off work
They were weird.
to look at the car.
Yeah, they're weird. Yeah, exactly. So, but you did invite those women
Yes.
there,
Yes.
and then they had to get money to leave.
I didn't know they needed money to leave.
Well, they did need money to leave.
Now
They
I
had to
know.
get money to go.
about
And then a guy came that was 30 with the lizard, and he got sent packing. But
look
the
how
lizard
cool.
stayed for a year?
She loved that lizard. She cried when he left. So I don't even want to hear complaints about the lizard being there.
Okay, but you did have people showing up at the house
Yes.
that had to get run off, and the lizard stayed for a year. Did you lay down in the middle of the street and say, I'm just going to stay here till a car hits me unless you give me my phone back?
After the time that you're sitting on a porch with Dad.
Whenever Dad kicked me out of the house and threw me off the chair and stuff. Yeah,
the
I
time you
don't
were
remember.
punching
that.
him over and over again.
Well, but did you lay down in the street and say, I'm going to lay here?
I don't remember because that was long ago, but I might have.
So I just wanted your definition of typical teen. Next, why Taylor believes she is the online Dr. Phil dispensing life-changing advice on the internet. We'll talk about that after the break.
Just making me look like a horrible person
Why do you look like a horrible person?
because you're pointing out like she does. All she does is point out every single bad thing about me to every single person, and I'm over it.
Kim says her daughter Taylor is a liar, a manipulator, and drama queen whose outrageous behavior may be the result of a mental illness. But Taylor insists she's just a normal, good teen who at one point became transgender and started dishing out advice online.
Alright, hey y'all, it's Spencer. Today's video is about how I came out about being transgender, tips on how to come out and everything for people who haven't done so yet. I did lose a few friends from it, I did, but I also gained a lot of people. I have a lot of people who support me and who are there for me. It may be hard at points, but you know, in the end of it all, you're gonna be happy. You're gonna be happy with who you are, and you're gonna be proud of yourself. So just keep being you, and everything will just work out fine.
But you decided that wasn't for you?
No,
When did you decide that?
like 4 months later.
4 months later?
Yeah.
When you say she's all over you and over involved in your life, when those behaviors that we kind of went through, what you said, those are just typical good teen behaviors. What would be a typical good mom behavior? What do you want her to do?
I don't care at this point.
What do you not care about?
You're just making me look like a horrible person, and I'm just not.
Why do you look like a horrible person?
Because you're pointing out like she does. All she does is point out every single bad thing about me to every single person, and I'm over it.
Okay, so now you want to play the victim.
I'm not playing victim. I just think it's ridiculous. I didn't even want to do this to begin with. And I'm doing it to make her happy because I love her and I care about her. And it's just all coming back to bite me.
It's all coming back to bite you. Here you go. If this is just typical behavior, then why would you have a problem with it?
I have a problem with that, but it hasn't happened. Like, I am trying to better myself and be a better person and be better for her and everything.
Do you consider this list to be change-worthy behavior? Is this behavior worthy of change?
For it. Half of it's not even explained.
The floor is yours.
I dropped out because I've had panic attacks at school. The shoplifting, I wasn't even the one doing it. I was with my friend when it was happening. And of course, you're going to get in trouble as long as you're with that person, whether you're doing it or not.
Are you responsible for any of this?
Some of it, yes. And it makes me feel horrible about myself when I do it. It's not like I do things and don't know they're bad.
You can't stand living there. Then
Because
why
it's
do
constant.
you?
I live there because I have nowhere else to go. And I don't have the money to go anywhere right now.
Okay, well, look, that's part of maturing. You see, that's the thing that I'm trying to figure out here. It's interesting. Your mother thinks that the upshot of this is I'm going to throw her under the bus and say this is all her fault. You think that you've been brought here and I'm going to blame you for all of this for being a bad kid. It's interesting that the two of you each think I'm going to blame you for everything that's going on here, and neither one of you have a clue what my opinion is about this situation, and I don't know why you would care what I think anyway. I'm just some guy that you just happen to be sitting here with. The only reason you should have any interest in what I have to say is if I put verbs in my sentences and say something to do that changes the way you get along. But what if I had something to say that changed the pressure under which you live? What if I had something to say that changed the combativeness and smothering that you get from your mother? What if I had something to say that gave you some peace and some hope and some traction where you could live independently on your own and be happy? Wouldn't you want to hear that? And you think, oh, like he's like the principal at school, like he's all judgmental and all of that. I've got kids. I've got a kid that is a rock and roll musician that is not what you would expect. You just never know, do you? Surprise. Next, Kim says at just 14 years old, Taylor confessed to something so horrific it shook her to the core. Plus, Taylor's older sister, Paige, says her little sister is an attention-seeking troublemaker, and Mom's not helping the situation. But I'm going to help it. We'll be right back.
Dr. Phil, please help my family. My sister is out of control. What we once thought was just a phase has become a nightmare. I mean, from the mood swings to stealing my money to the friends she hangs out with. It's just getting ridiculous.
Taylor was beating herself in the head because she was hearing voices, and they wanted her to kill her father and I. She actually had visions of her shooting us in the back of the head. I feared for my life for the longest period of time. I just couldn't lock the door at night. I just didn't want her. I didn't want her to feel I didn't trust her because I love her so much.
Mental illness, drama queen, both. Questions Kim says she struggles with when parenting her 18-year-old daughter, Taylor. Now, her older sister, Paige, says she doesn't know if Taylor has a disorder or not, but what she does know is her little sister is out of control. When you say out of control, what do you mean?
I mean, the behavior is out of control. The things she's getting caught doing and the way she upsets my parents, it's just more than I think a normal teenager should be doing.
So why do you think she's doing what she's doing?
Because she gets away with it. Perfect example, growing up, I would get told to clean my room, and I wouldn't do it, and after a week or two, it would be done. So after that, why would I ever clean my room again? And I think it's the same thing with Taylor when she does these things. You know, she gets a slap on the wrist, and then that's it.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay, why? I mean, if you know that and you know it's
now.
true, why?
I know now. Well, there's no consequences now. Because for the longest time, her and I were just almost one, which was wrong. I just took on all her. She was a really sick girl. She really was. And we were really connected. And I just wanted her to be happy. When your child tells you that, and you could see it, that she just, when it died, she wasn't happy. And she hasn't been for a long time, and I watched her suffer. I just did I thought it was because I love her, but I messed up because I didn't teach them responsibility because I did everything for them.
Okay, when you say she wanted to die, why do you say that?
Because she tried killing herself, and she was so deep in depression, and I think if it wasn't for the love and support her family gave her, it could have been really bad.
Did you try to kill yourself? Why did you want to kill yourself?
I was depressed. I was suicidal. I don't know. It was just in there.
So at this point, you've just checked out.
At this point, because I can't stand the response anymore. Because now there's anger. There wasn't anger before.
Okay.
There's a lot of anger.
All right.
And I think she does that so our conversation ends because she screams in my face and walks off. And then we don't have to discuss anything, and she doesn't have to do what I say.
I'm trying to be independent and do things on my own and get, my life in order.
Yeah.
I love you, Taylor, and you say that all the time, but you don't follow through. And I love you.
Well, but yet you do things to cripple her.
I don't know. Probably, yeah.
No, probably.
Oh, I know I do. I know I do.
I mean, I've looked at them across time.
Oh, yeah.
You allow her filthy room with moldy food. She loses her license. You pay the ticket. You don't require chores. You say, I'm just too weak and damaged to even guide her. You say she can't function in the world without me. You threaten to call the police, but you don't. You allow fraudulently purchased items to be kept. No payback of the $3,000 for the stolen credit cards. There just is absolutely no consequence whatsoever. You know, that just adds up to just one thing. And
absolutely,
that's just enabled. It's just one thing. Look, children learn what they live.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you.
I've always say when you choose a behavior, you choose the consequences. And when she chooses behavior A, there should be consequence B. But she chooses A, there's no consequence B. So she doesn't know that when you touch a hot stove, you get burned.
Oh,
because she touches a hot stove and she doesn't get burned.
I agree, but for the
No,
longest...
but.
Oh, no, I know you hate the word but. I agree. I just... Raising a kid for so long that you're constantly trying to keep in line, take care of him, do everything... I didn't teach her to be independent. I didn't teach her to do any of that. I wrote in the letter that I'm enabling her. I think it's the word I used. I'm bad for her as a mom because I love her so much and I'm making bad decisions. Because I'm using my heart first and not thinking how it's affecting her. And I've tried everything I have. But I'm weak. I'm weak and I'm doing it alone. I have a husband. I love him, but no one deals with everything. You know, how am I supposed to know how to do it?
Well, we're actually going to meet Taylor's father and find out why he says he lets his wife handle the parenting when we come back. We got Bleacher Bob. He's just kind of sitting in the bleachers watching this go, and he's an occasional guest on the show because he's gone fishing.
on an all-new Dr. Phil. It's Mom
You say she's a sex addict.
She likes married men.
versus Family.
You're only hearing one side.
No, I'm hearing your side. It just changes every sentence.
That's Monday.
Taylor tried to kill herself when she was 14. When Taylor tried to kill herself, I did feel like I failed her because I tried to give her a happy life, and it's really hard to think your child wants to die. One night, I found a picture of Taylor with blood all over herself. And underneath, it was stated that she had taken a bunch of pills and she would not be there the next day. So I thought I was going to go upstairs and find my daughter dead. She was sleeping. She was perfectly fine, but she changed me forever that night.
Before the break, you said, I'm doing this by myself. We're now meeting Bob. Why is she says she's doing it by herself. Is that true? Is she the one that is handling the drama on a day-to-day basis?
Yes.
Where are you?
Not sure. I'm around.
He what?
Said hunting, fishing.
Hunting and fishing.
Not all the time.
Why are you not involved?
Right now, I can't say a word to Taylor when she does something wrong because she'll just blow up.
Well, that's the same thing with Kim. There's no different with her.
Right.
But she's not hunting and fishing.
Nah.
You don't like fishing?
I would like fishing better than confrontation. Yeah, I'd like fishing.
Well, how about y'all just tag out and you go fish for the next 8 years and let him tag in?
Be a dream.
Let me tell you what I think's going on here. And I have to just kind of write this up. But, you know, it's amazing to me how every family has a script. And everybody plays a role. And when you think about it, you just have to think, okay, we're talking here about the family show, okay? And everybody has a role. So you got to get the cast over here. And in this one, okay, we got Kim. In this family show, you play mother. You play victim. You play martyr. Kind of a checked out passenger. All right, then we got Bob. Okay. We got Bleacher Bob. He's just kind of sitting in the bleachers watching this go, and he's an occasional guest on the show because he's gone fishing. Okay? And then we got Taylor, and we've got Paige, and we've got stepson. Okay, now here's the problem. We got Paige, and Paige is kind of the good girl. You know, you kind of gone the mainstream route, right?
I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying you're Mother Teresa, but you've kind of gone the good girl route. And stepson here, where is stepson?
He's a pastor. He was in Africa for 3 years.
Pastor, and he's on a mission. Okay? Seriously, he's on a mission in Africa, right? So then here comes Taylor. Okay, we're casting this show. What's left? Okay, we're casting this show. What's left? The good girl's gone. That's taken. You got the son. Hell, he's a pastor. He's gone. So we're casting this show. What's left?
Thanks.
What's left? You know, so you come, she comes and says, okay, I can't compete with this. I can't compete with that. I mean, for God's sakes, he's on a mission in Africa saving the world. So I can't do that. This is a natural order of things. I'm telling you, every family is that way. But then you've got to have a plot. What's the plot line here? This is a drama. And the problem is, you can't change one character and change the show. It's like the Housewives of New Jersey. You can't take one of those women and have her stop pulling hair, cussing, and fighting and change the show, because the other 10 or however the hell many of them are going to still be cussing, pulling hair, and fighting. You can't change the show by just changing one character. You have to change the cast, the whole cast. If we decide, okay, we're going to change Taylor. We're going to drag her to the altar of therapy here and get her fixed. No matter what we did, we could take her to Sigmund, by God, Freud, and get her fixed and bring her back to this dynamic, and she would go back to doing whatever the hell she's been doing, because you're all playing the same roles. The whole dynamic has to change. This isn't her problem. Your daughter is not some kind of warped character. She's not of some kind of valueless, absent moral compass. I can tell you from talking to her and spending the time I have spent with her, this is not a deeply flawed individual here.
I agree.
She is finding her way. She's just finding her way. You have checked out. The problem is that is not an option. As a parent, there is no window to which you go and say, I'd like to turn in my card. I'm done. That's not. Now, she's 18. You can say, done it, finished. But I can tell you as a parent with kids that are past 18, you never finish parenting.
I guess I said I checked out, but I stalk her, so I guess I didn't. You know, I'm just trying to do everything for her, and I need to let her do it for herself.
Yeah, you've got to be willing to back off here, but you also have to be willing to understand, if you do want to be independent, you need some life skills you don't have. Would you agree? I can get you a life coach. I can get you we can get you on a track to get you independent, living in a responsible way to get you what you want. And have the kind of relationship that you need to have because you created it, not because she gave it to you. And if you want that, you can have it, but you have to work at it, and that means maturity. And I will bring you the resources to help you do that if you want to do that. It's not from her. You butt out. Okay? You butt out, but I will bring you the resources. But you have to do the work if you're willing to do that. So where does the family go from here? How do we do what I'm doing? Sounds good, right? But can it really happen? After the break. Ready to get real? Go to drphil.com for advice on relationships, parenting, finances, and more. Plus, weigh in on your favorite episodes, share your stories, and find support in the Dr. Phil community. When you sign up for the community, you will automatically be subscribed to the Dr. Phil Show newsletter. Log on to drphil.com today. I'd like to talk about how we implement this, okay? When I'm talking about this family dynamic here, does this make sense to you?
Yes. A martyr? Okay, yes.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
You are saying, I've sacrificed everything. I'm broken. I'm beaten. I'm down. God, I've given up everything. And you know what? Had you done that to get her through and healthy and prepared and ready, maybe it would make sense to trade your life for hers. But that's not what you did. You traded your life and crippled her in exchange. Here's the good news. It isn't over. You only lose if you quit while you're behind. Don't quit while you're behind. This is an ongoing game. Just don't quit now, and then you don't lose. Okay? Before you sits an intelligent and articulate young woman. Beside you sits an intelligent, articulate young woman. So you've done some things right. Even Bleacher Bob must have done something right. Because you've got some beautiful daughters here. Now, maybe she's made some bad choices here and there. Maybe she gets a little melodramatic from time to time. But I believe she truly does want to be independent and have some things that she can be proud of.
I hope so.
Well, why don't you just rain on the parade, sister?
I'm not.
Well, I hope so. I'd like to add Dr. Frank Lawless. He's chairman of the Dr. Phil Show Advisory Board and co-founder of the Lawless PvP and Peace Center to the conversation. Dr. Lawless, am I on the right track here? Tell me I am, even if I'm not, because I'm not getting any support up here.
Well, absolutely. And so what needs to happen is putting the history behind you and creating a new history. And this is the time to do it.
Do you realize how powerful that is, that we could change that? So you're grading my paper. You're giving me an A on this, right?
Yes.
He was my major professor in my doctoral program 40 years ago. There's a program out there that we work with a lot called OnSite. And OnSite is the worldwide leader in intensive workshops and treatment for emotional trauma, mental health issues, individuals and families. It's located on a beautiful ranch. I mean beautiful. It's just outside of Nashville, Tennessee. And they truly create custom programs for individuals and families that can make a huge difference. And we've talked to them about this situation, about changing the script here. And they have agreed to work with us here in kind of a serial fashion, because to begin with, I don't want anybody there together. But we want to sit down and talk with y'all about using that to do some script changing here, to take some breaks from each other and give you a chance to go there and really focus on yourselves. And I don't even care what order or how we do it. And you don't even, that's not a requirement to doing any of this, but it's a great way to jumpstart what we're working on. So we'll talk to you all about that after. And again, totally up to you. This is something I want to do with you, not to you. It's just an option, but I think it's a great one. And you have an opportunity to work with animals there and do different things. I want to change the script here. So let's work on this. And then I want to have a life coach for you with one express goal, and that's for you to start living independently and get the things that are important to you in your life. Are you willing to commit to that work? Because I want that for you. I think you deserve it, and I think you can do it. And so I want to work on that for you. And I bet you that's the best offer you've had. Agreed?
Yeah.
I want to thank all of my guests today, and a special thanks to Dr. Frank Lawless, and also a special thanks to Miles Adcox, the owner and CEO of OnSite. You can learn more about OnSite at onsiteworkshops.com, as well as at drphil.com, because we'll have a link there. We spoke about the topic of suicide today. If you at home are struggling or know someone that is, please call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255 or go to suicidepreventionlifeline.org. Thanks for being here. We'll talk to you again. Thanks. Let's really make a change for you, okay? All right, guys, thanks. Thanks, sir.